welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I am bringing a combination of YouTube hops for your viewing pleasure. I am going to be working on the Paper Crafters monthly themed hop, Golden Days of Fall, and I am going to be working on Stamp It Like It's Hot. This is a monthly hop as well, and each month we are given a new technique to use to complete a layout. This month's technique is to create a patterned paper. I am also going to be participating in Scraptember, and today's prompt is to use a white background. So here's my white cardstock. This is a piece of Simple Stories Forever Fall, one of my absolute favorite collections for fall is that one. This is a piece of 8.5 by 11 craft paper, and these are the stamps that I have chosen to use. This set, and I'm only using this one, and it's here, is from Bo Bunny Beautiful Brisk. No clue how old that is, probably ancient. I've had it for quite a long time. This one is old enough that the stamps themselves have turned yellow, and it is from Back Porch Memories, which is a defunct kit club that I used to be a member of. It was kind of like the scrap room a little bit, that you had two different options. One was like a full collection, and the other one was like a bunch of mini collections. Anyway, so I'm going to be using this, and this stamp from that collection. I have already put my stamps on blocks. This is the photo of my beautiful little daughter. She's actually going to be 19 at the end of this year, but this photo was taken in the fall of 2016 at a pumpkin patch. It was when we lived in Clarksville, Tennessee. We were stationed there at Fort Campbell, which is on the border of Kentucky and Tennessee, and we lived in Clarksville, Tennessee. I'm going to use this Pink Fresh Studios Warm Buff ink pad to do my stamping. So I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to go ahead and speed it up, and we'll get started. So the reason why I put the two different stamp sets on different blocks is because when I started to put them all on one block, I noticed that the single leaf was a little bit shorter than the other leaves, and I was afraid that it actually wouldn't show up. So I just put it on its own little tiny block, and I'll go in a few minutes and I'll fill in gaps with that stamp. So all I'm doing is stamping some warm buff ink on this craft cardstock. It's a tone-on-tone look. It's very subtle looking. It looks relatively dark right here, but when I walk away to go cook dinner for my family and eat dinner, and I come back, it is so much lighter. So note to self, if you ever do this again, use a darker ink than you think you want, because this craft paper soaks up that ink, and when it fully dries, it's barely visible. It's okay though, because that is kind of what I was going for. I didn't want it to take away from the other pattern papers that I was using, and I didn't want it to take anything away from my photo. So now I'm going to trim down my patterned paper. I'm starting with this beautiful plaid paper. It matches my daughter's shirt and those pumpkins in the photo perfectly. And then I'm going to cut the paper that I made with my stamp. I'm going to cut it down to 8 by 8, and then I will start layering up these pattern papers on my white base. I will be using one of the pieces of plaid that I cut off on this as an anchor point for my photo, but I'm going to of course flip it over and use the orange polka dot side instead. So this is pretty much what it's going to look like. This is what my pattern paper looked like after it had time to dry and soak up the ink. Camera, I went ahead and I sewed a light pink border around my craft paper that I stamped on, and now I'm going to mat this photo in a matching light pink cardstock. It's just a scrap I had in my scrap bin. It's great to use up those scraps whenever you can. So I'm going to go ahead and start building this layout now. I showed you in the last little section how this was going to end up. What I didn't show you is the fact that I have embellishments here off to the side. Now I pulled these from one of my Hip Kit Club kits. I think this is probably one from last fall, and it matches fairly well with the pattern papers that I already have. And since I didn't have any loose embellishments from fall lying around, I went ahead and I just broke into all of these. There's going to be quite a bit of me digging through ephemera packs and stuff because I didn't really pull out what I thought I wanted to use yet. Now I'm pulling off the word fall to go under that hello banner that you saw me add. That hello banner has been on my desktop since I did 30 days of sketches back in March. I'd pulled it from a piece of freckled fawn chipboard and I didn't use it, and it's just been sitting there. So it is going on this layout to be part of my title. So as I said, I'm going to be digging through all of this ephemera. I have not looked at this off camera, and so I'm kind of trying to make some decisions on what I'm going to actually use. I finally find this cute little envelope with a bunch of fall flowers and other bits poking out of the top of it, and I decided that that is going to look really good underneath that banner. I also pulled in that acorn that you see there, and I'm also going to be pulling in something else up there in the top, but I haven't found it yet. Those two small flowers that I pulled out first, I decided I wanted to put them on the lower left hand of the actual photo, adding another heart there. I found a tag so that I could write my journaling on, and also a larger floral cluster to go on the lower right hand side of my photo, as well as a little tiny phrase. So now I'm just going to kind of poke things around. Oh yeah, and I add that branch right there to go underneath the acorn. So now I'm going to kind of move things around a little bit more. At this point, I believe I have glued everything down, and now I'm going to add some sequins. I pulled these sequins out for another layout and just left them in this little triangle, and I'm going to add them in various places on my layout. I'm not going to be using the green one so much as the yellow, clear, and the soft corally orange ones. Adding the sequins just makes that perfect finishing touch to a layout. I have been known to sew sequins on a layout too, but I haven't done that in a while. Maybe I should revisit that technique. Anyway, I really like adding things like this to draw your eyes around the different embellishment clusters on a layout. It really adds, just like I said, a little tiny finishing detail. Alright, I am all finished with this layout. I want to thank you for stopping by my channel today and watching me complete these hops for the month of September. Don't forget to look in that description box below for links to all of the various hops. There are 3 in this video. Scraptember. There is the Paper Crafting YouTubers themed hop, as well as this month Stamp It Like It's Hot. So make sure you check out all the links. There's at least one collaborative playlist below, and that one's for the Stamp It Like It's Hot. And check out what everybody else is doing for these hops. You have a great rest of your day. Bye.